most important things when it comes to running an online business is building a list and building an audience. Without a list and without an audience, you have no one to sell to. Now, when you're starting out, you might be wondering how to build a large email list and an audience from scratch. And so I'm going to walk you through 7 things that you can do to go from 0 list and 0 audience to thousands and beyond. So stay till the end as I walk you through how to build a large email list and an audience from scratch. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the best place for online entrepreneurs. My name is Christabel. I am a marketing coach for online business owners, and on this channel we do a lot of videos on online marketing and online business. So if you're interested in either online marketing or online business, then definitely hit the subscribe button and also go check out all my other past videos. So when you're starting out with a brand new business, or maybe you're starting out with building a list and an audience, you might be wondering, okay, awesome, let's get started now. Where do I start, right? And so let's break down those 7 steps. Step number 1, before you even start thinking about building a list and building an audience, the first thing you want to know is you got to know who you are trying to get on your list and who you want as part of your audience. One of the biggest mistakes that I see online entrepreneurs make when you're thinking about list building and audience building is they don't consider who they want to have on your list, who they want to have as part of your audience. And that is a huge mistake. When it comes to list building, when it comes to creating an audience, size doesn't matter, right? The quality of who's on your list and the quality of who's in your audience is way more important than how big your list is or how many people is following you on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, for example. So you want to start off by first knowing who is your ideal paying customer. So your ideal paying customer is basically someone who is very likely to be interested in buying your services or your products. And you want to have as many ideal paying customers on your list and in your audience, because at the end of the day, the content that you're creating, the social media that you're doing, it's not just for vanity's sake, right? You're not just going in for vanity metrics. What you really want to achieve by the end of the day is to get customers out of your content, to get customers out of your social media, to get customers out of your YouTube videos and your podcast. And that is why you don't just want anyone on your list. So in my case, when I think about who do I want to have on my list, who do I want to have as part of my audience, I'm always thinking about that online entrepreneur who is looking to either start, grow, or scale their online businesses. I know exactly who they are, and I know exactly what troubles they face, the problems that they face in their businesses, the solutions they're looking for, right? So I have a very clear idea of who they are. Now this brings me to step number 2, know exactly where your target customers are hanging out. And so once you know who your ideal paying customers are and who you want to have on your email list and as part of your audience, now you need to know where to find them, right? How do you actually find these people? And so you want to think about, where do they hang out online? What websites do they visit? What Facebook groups are they part of? Who do they follow online? What celebrities do they follow? What type of content do they consume? What social media platforms do they use? If they're on Instagram, what type of Instagram hashtags are they searching for, right? So those are the things that you kind of want to factor in as you're thinking about, where do I find my ideal paying customers? And this is important because a lot of times people go into marketing thinking that as long as they market everywhere, right? Newspaper, radio, banner ads, paid ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, creating content, creating blog articles, creating YouTube videos, creating podcasts. As long as they're everywhere, somehow their ideal paying customer is going to find them. And that is not the way that you want to do it, especially when you're starting out. When you're starting out with trying to build a large email list and an audience from scratch, you really want to focus down on 1 or 2 channels where you know exactly that is where your ideal paying customers are spending a lot of time there. So for instance, if you identify a Facebook group that you know that's where a lot of your ideal paying customers can be found, then you want to commit most of your time in that Facebook group. And then if you know as well that they love spending time on Instagram and they're searching for a particular hashtag, you also want to create some kind of content on Instagram that uses that hashtag, because then that way you'll get found when your ideal paying customers are searching for that hashtag. If you know that they're on Facebook very often, then maybe you can consider paid ads, right? So paid Facebook ads. Now that's a route that a lot of people go down the first time when they start an online business, and I don't recommend it at all. The paid route, running paid ads, is the fastest way to growing your email list and having an audience when you start from scratch. However, it is also the most expensive way. So if you're starting out, I highly recommend all the other ways that you can do to grow your email list, to build your audience without going down the paid route first, right? You can always go down paid advertising much later on once you have made sure that your product and services are indeed wanted by your ideal paying customers, that it's something that they want and need, before you jump into paying more money and jumping into paying money for paid advertising that at the end of the day might not bring you the results that you're looking for. Now, if you want to learn more about how to find your target audience, I've actually already created a video where I break down the 3 main ways to find your target audience. Go check out this video once you're done watching this video. Now, the third step is to know what would get their attention. Now you know who they are, you know where they are hanging out. Now the third step is to get that attention, right? So how do you actually attract them? As you know, the online world is a very, very noisy world. So if you want to actually attract their attention and get them to pay attention to your brand, to your services and your products, then you need to find out more about them. So you want to know, what are some of the problems that they face? What are they searching for, right? What are they commonly searching for? What are some of the keywords that they're searching for? What are some of the key phrases that they're searching for? What kind of questions are they commonly posting in Facebook groups? What type of content are they typically consuming online? What type of content are they posting online, right? On Instagram, on Facebook. The more you know about them, the more you can understand what exactly makes your ideal paying customer tick. Now, step number 4 is to create a freebie that would then attract their attention. So like I mentioned earlier, now that you already know the problems that they face, the emotions that they have, the things that make them tick, now you can create something that addresses that attention. So for instance, if you know that they have an issue with productivity, could you create a freebie that addresses that problem with productivity? Because they're facing a personal problem about becoming more productive, when they see that there's a solution out there that's free, they get attracted to it. Now, there are different types of freebies that you can create. Everything that ranges from PDFs to free ebooks, to free guides, to free video series, to free videos, to free challenges. There is a range of freebies that you can create to meet that attention. Now, when you're starting out, I recommend that you start off with a simple freebie. So don't go right in for the video series. Don't go right in for the challenges. What I recommend is to create something simple to consume for them and something simple for you to create. So something simple would be like a PDF, right? A checklist. Those are easy to create. It would take you maybe a day at most, depending on how skilled you are with designing and all that. But it's easy to create. It's also easy for them to consume. At the end of the day, people don't really want to download freebies that would take up a lot of their time, especially if they don't know who you are yet. So, for example, if I am not well known and I start to create these really complicated and comprehensive freebies that requires a lot of the time to consume that freebie, then they're not going to do it. They're not going to complete it. So what I want to do, especially when you're new to this, is to create something so simple that is easy for them to consume. And then as you get more experience creating freebies, and as your audience and your list starts to grow, then it will be a better time to start to move into things like 5-day challenges and then 3-part video series. Now, step number 5 is to create a landing page or a squeeze page to collect those email addresses in exchange for that freebie. Once you've created your freebie, now you got to create a place where you can actually capture those emails in exchange to download that freebie. So for example, here I have a freebie on the top 10 sales generating activities that you can go download on my website. Squeeze pages are usually kept simple in terms of design. All you really want to have is an image of the item that you're giving away for free, a brief description, and then asking for their name and their email addresses. You don't want to get too complicated when it comes to squeeze pages. You want to keep it as simple as possible. Here's a little tip. Try to remove your masthead if possible, and that is the top of your website. You don't really want to have a lot of links at the top because then you get them distracted. In a squeeze page, I'm really trying to keep them on the page. I'm trying to get them to do one thing, and that is to give me their name and their email addresses. I don't really want them to go ahead and start clicking on things. I just want them to give me their information in exchange for a freebie. Now, the tool that I use to create my squeeze pages is a combination of WordPress and the Thrive Architect plugin. So my entire site is built on WordPress, and the reason why I use Thrive Architect is because I love the drag and drop function that it has. It allows me to quickly create a squeeze page with no coding knowledge at all. And if you want to learn more about Thrive Architect, you can go ahead and click the link in the description below to learn more about it. Now, if you don't use WordPress or you don't want to use Thrive Architect plugins, some of the tools out there that allows you to create landing pages are Unbounce or even ClickFunnels. Now, once you've created your landing page or squeeze page, it's time to move on to step 6. And that is to promote your freebie. So without regularly promoting your freebies, it's really hard to grow an email list or an audience. People need to know that your freebie exists out there so that they can actually download it. And so if you want to start growing your email list or your audience from scratch, you have to regularly promote your freebie. So for example, you might notice that I regularly plug my free lead magnets in my videos and also on my podcast. Now the tip here is to plug the lead magnet that is relevant to the video that you're creating or to the conversation that you're having. So for example, if I'm creating a video on sales, I don't want to be plugging a lead magnet on productivity. There is no correlation at all. Instead, if I'm creating a video on sales, I want to be plugging a free lead magnet that's all about sales. It could be a simple sales checklist that helps people to get more sales. So the way I plug my free lead magnets in my videos is just simply saying, hey guys, if you want to learn more about how to generate more sales, I have a free checklist on the 10 sales generating activities that you can go download by clicking on the link below. So do you see how easy it was to plug my free lead magnet? Now what about all the other places that you can promote your freebie? You can also promote your free lead magnets on social media, right? So for example, in Facebook groups, many Facebook groups have weekly threads where you can promote your services, your products, or your freebies, and that's where you can promote it. You can also promote it on Instagram, right? Create a post about it, or change your link in your bio to reflect the link of your landing page or your squeeze page. Now, step number 7 is the part where you want to connect the dots. Now that you have a freebie, you know who you're targeting, you have a squeeze page where people can download that freebie form, you want to make sure that you have an email marketing software that you're using to capture those email leads, because you need to have a way to house your audience. Now, there are many email marketing software tools out there that ranges from free all the way to very expensive. It really depends at the end of the day what you're looking for and what you're trying to achieve. Now, when you're starting out, it's a temptation to go with the free software first. For example, MailChimp. And that's okay when you're first starting out, but my recommendation is to always have a plan on how you plan to scale your email marketing and your audience building. So that's knowing if the email marketing software tool that you decide to go with has the features and the capacity to scale as your business scales, right? Has to scale alongside with you. So some of the email marketing tools that I recommend that you try out is ConvertKit. ConvertKit is great for course creators, content creators. Another is MailerLite. I use MailerLite for my email marketing. It is simple, it is effective, it has no frills at all, but it does the job. Now, if you want something a little bit more advanced, an email marketing software tool that I recommend is ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign has been around for a long time. They are highly trustworthy. They have a lot of features that is very beneficial when it comes to building a large email list and your audience from scratch. So those are the 7 steps on how to build a large email list and an audience from scratch. If you've been feeling confused about how you can build an email list and how to build an audience when you're starting out from zero, I hope that was useful for you. In the meantime, I've created a free checklist on list building that you can go download by clicking on the link in the description below. Now, this checklist consists of all the things that you need to pay attention to as you're trying to build your list, the things that you can do and should not do during list building. Now, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now, if you want to be notified the next time I upload a new video, don't forget to hit the bell button as well. Now, if you want to learn more about getting more traffic to your online business and how to grow an audience, go check out this video so you can start to learn more strategies and tactics. Alright, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.